Rizzo.
TQL Stadium, Inter Miami on the road tonight. It's MLS on a Wednesday night on your Inter Miami radio network. Lionel Messi in the starting lineup and a 4-3-3 for Guillermo Hoyos and company tonight. Let's get into your starting lineup, presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Visit AudiUSA.com to learn more. That's AudiUSA.com to learn more. Folks, test drive the brand new Q3. And you want to know something about the Q3? It's made for the S-Life, because with the all-new Audi Q3, the answer is easy, and it has the power and room to handle whatever pops up. Say yes to adventure, escape, and right now. That is the all-new Audi Q3, made for the S-Life. You can learn more at AudiUSA.com or stop by your local South Florida Audi dealer to test drive one. Folks, Audi is the official premium and electric car partner of IMCF. Once again, Audi, the official premium and electric car partner of IMCF. Your starting lineup for your Inter Miami Herons in a 4-3-3. You have Ian Frey, Gonzalo Luan, Mikael, and Sergio Reguilon. Dane St. Clair will be between the sticks. Rodrigo DePaul, Yannick Bright, and Telasco Segovia, your three attackers up top. Messi at right wing, Suarez at striker, Herman Berterame at left wing. As far as Cincinnati, 3-5-2, 5 midfielders, 3 defenders, 2 attackers for Cincinnati tonight. Miles Robinson, Matt Miyazaga, and Kyle Smith, the defenders. The 5 midfielders, Brian Ramirez, Samuel Giddy, Evander, Valenzuela, and Buca, and the 2 strikers up top in a dual strike partnership, Kevin Danke and then Kenji Dem. So those are your starting lineups presented by Audi. Let's take our first time out on our Inter Miami radio network. We are gearing up for a big night in Cincinnati. Let's hope our Herons can make it 7 straight games on a road. And I will tell you what exactly that means when we come back on your Inter Miami radio network.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients in South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath. Proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football, because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
Picture this, a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey, Irv, you watching the game?
Watching? I'm all over these live bets on the Hard Rock Bet app right now. Brother, I'm in the game. That's a quick winner. Si se puede, si se puede, si se
Live
puede.
betting on Hard Rock Bet makes any game worth celebrating.
Si se.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start live betting today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Picture this, a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
When you see the pink smoke.
Gol de Messi! The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Now, let's get to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Folks, Inter Miami, our Herons have won 6 straight road fixtures. If they win tonight, if Inter Miami wins tonight, they tie the MLS record for the most consecutive wins on the road. There have been a plethora of teams who have won 7. But where it gets record-breaking would be 8. Now, Inter Miami plays tonight in Cincinnati. Their next game, they would not play on the road until after the World Cup in July. So if Inter Miami wins tonight, we'll have to wait all the way until July to see if our Herons could possibly be the record holder. Folks, I promise you, our last time out on our Inter Miami radio network, and then we will be live. Herman Berterame, Luis Suarez, Lionel Messi, Rodrigo De Paul, Yannick Bright, Telasco Segovia, Ian Frey, Gonzalo Luan, Mikael, Sergio Reguilon, and Dane St. Clair coming up next on your Inter Miami radio network.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients in South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath, proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey, Michael Irvin, another promo just dropped on Hard Rock Bet. I got a profit boost this morning. Whoa, and a huge bonus bet just hit my account. Is the app on fire like this every week?
Only on days that end in Y. Like today, yesterday, all day, every day.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start playing today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Picture this, a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football, because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Evan Cohen here. PayPal is now the official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL, which means all the money moments that fandom creates, whether splitting tailgate costs or chipping in on tickets and game day food between friends, are covered. Wherever the game is played or watched, PayPal moves with fans. You can send money through text, email, or directly to your friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. Just download the PayPal app and share all the moments that matter. Account with PayPal is required. Not available in all regions where PayPal operates.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected. Apply in minutes and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Let's get back to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
We are moments away from kicking things off at TQL Stadium. Herman Berterame standing over the ball as we get ready to go on our Inter Miami radio network. Inter Miami heading into this game, folks. They've scored 13 goals in their last 5 matches and are averaging about just over 2.5 per game. They're unbeaten in 6 straight MLS road fixtures. Tonight would make it 7, and then Inter Miami would go chasing a record. But we are underway here at TQL Stadium. Inter Miami trying to make it 7 in a row on the road, and immediately Dane St. Clair was in some hot water as Kevin Danke was tracking a ball in the box. He had to boot it away, and now we have a throw-in on the near side touchline for Cincinnati. A 3-5-2 for Cincinnati tonight. Miles Robinson, Matt Miyazaga, Kyle Smith. In the midfield, Brian Ramirez, Samuel Giddy, Evander, Gerardo Valenzuela, and Pavel Buka. A dangerous position for Cincinnati as it is immediately now cut out by the Herons, and now we're going to have a throw-in on the near side touchline, but things are getting a little dicey around the penalty arc with Kenji Dem. Throwing it in for our Herons is Sergio Reguilon. Reguilon switching fields, a big switch now to Ian Frey. Folks, 62 degrees. 62 degrees for everyone that might be listening that knows Celsius, 17 degrees Celsius. Inter Miami in their all pink jerseys, and Cincinnati with their blue jerseys and orange trim. Suarez now in Heron territory will try a big switch, and that is immediately turned over. Brian Ramirez on it. They're going to recycle back to the defense with Miles Robinson. Robinson trying to get it up the pitch, and it's won by our Herons, and DePaul is on it. Here's Suarez, now Ian Frey. Frey far side touchline. Messi, first touch of the game, right at midfield on the far side touchline. He plays a big-time through ball to Ian Frey. Frey is unable to bring it down and put it properly. Gets booted away, but the Herons on it again with Messi. Messi passes Segovia, and that's where it breaks down, and now on the run is Cincinnati. They like to get out and go. Here is Robinson, and now a nifty tackle by Yannick Bright. He'll thwart it back to the Cincinnati defense. But once again, I got stuck at the midfield. Brian Robinson, Samuel Giddy, Evander, Gerardo Valenzuela, and Pavel Buka. And the 2 strikers up top for Cincinnati, Kenji Dem and Kevin Danke. Danke, the leading goal scorer for Cincinnati with 7 goals. Cincinnati probing out of their defense currently now with their goalkeeper, Celentano. Our Inter Miami Herons have Ian Frey, Gonzalo Luan, Mikael, Sergio Reguilon, Rodrigo DePaul, Yannick Bright, and Segovia in the midfield. And then Messi, Suarez, and Berterame up top. Matteo Silvetti is available off of the bench tonight. 2 minutes. 2 minutes have been played 0-0. Inter Miami and Cincinnati. On it now is Yannick Bright. He'll try a big switch to Frey. That ball intercepted, but given right back to Inter Miami. Now on it is DePaul. Here's Segovia right at midfield. Sergio Reguilon, near side touchline. Him and Suarez now playing 2-man 2-ball, and now they'll recycle back to the defense. But Cincinnati, who is 6 games unbeaten within the MLS. Cincinnati, a team who has historically played our Herons with Lionel Messi hard. Now, our Herons obviously getting the better of them in the playoffs last year on our way to a championship. But Cincinnati, one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference, they got out to a real slow start, but their last 6 fixtures, they have 4 draws and 2 wins. That's good enough for a playoff spot in 6th place right now. Ian Frey goes to ground, no call. But good news is Lionel Messi on the ball. Messi gets to Berterame, outside of the box. Herman lays it up to Ian Frey. Frey trying to cross the ball in, and a good job there. That was Brian Ramirez getting his back to what would have been some service in by Frey. It'll be a throw-in on the far side touchline. 4 minutes have been played. 0-0 Inter Miami and Cincinnati. Frey plays it back to Gonzalo Luan. Luan now will reset with Mikael, and now to Dane St. Clair. But Cincinnati with Kevin Danke leading the way with goals this season with 7, and right behind him is Evander. Evander, a household name within the MLS. One of the better goal scorers we will see in this competition this year. Some sloppy play by both teams, but Inter Miami now has it, and it's Luis Suarez near side touchline. Suarez with a lot of space finds Lionel Messi. Messi streaking towards the penalty area. Pass to Berterame, back to Messi. Goal, but is it offsides? And the flag is up. It's offsides. Messi, a moment away from opening up the scoring. Luis Suarez had so much space in Cincinnati territory. He found Messi. Messi ran into a brick wall, and Matt Miyazaga, Berterame ended up with the ball. He played a lob pass to Messi, but Messi was just about, I would say, a leg offsides. And that one will not count. Cincinnati plays it out of their box. Immediately won by Inter Miami. DePaul immediately turns it over. And now Cincinnati is going to start probing. This is Samuel Giddy. Giddy finds Ramirez. Ramirez finds Dem. Now back to Ramirez. Far side touchline in Inter Miami territory. Nifty move by Evander, leaving defenders behind him. Evander's still on it. Evander puts on a shot, and that one nowhere near the target. But Evander showing his quality here in the 6th minute. Blew past 2 defenders, had a shot opportunity right outside of the penalty area. Pat Noonan, the head coach for FC Cincinnati, looking on at Evander. Once again, 6-minute 0-0 Inter Miami and Cincinnati. But he blew by Luan. He blew by Bright. And he got the finish all wrong. Guillermo Hoyos looking on as well. Hoyos, interim gaffer for Inter Miami. We'll have to see if our Herons will make a permanent decision at any point. I am just speculating. I have no information. I think it'll probably come post-World Cup. Cincinnati now on it in Inter Miami territory. Giddy gets it to Evander. Evander guarded by Segovia. Now they'll recycle to the defense. The entire defense up with the attack. Past midfield for Cincinnati would be a good counter opportunity if Inter Miami is able to win the ball. Near side touchline, Buka. And his change is picked. Can Inter Miami hit? Suarez with a nice pass to Messi. Messi almost got past Valenzuela. With Cincinnati on it now. Far side touchline, Brian Ramirez. Here's Danke. Danke pass looking for Evander, and that one thwarted away. Good job there by Mikael. But a couple of dangerous and pacey strikers up top for Cincinnati. You got Kenji Dem and Kevin Danke. Lionel Messi obviously getting his 100 goal contributions. 75 games it took him to get that. Danke now in the box of Inter Miami. And he got the pass all wrong. But Cincinnati's still on it. Outside of the box shot deflected for Cincinnati. But they're back on it. This is Danke. Inter Miami able to block a couple attempts on target. And now on it is Berterame. It was a good spell of play for Cincinnati, who now lays on a press, and now we have a foul. Referee blowing the whistle, signaling for a free kick. Gerardo Valenzuela with a shot on target, and Kevin Danke. So 3 shots in the game so far, all in FC Cincinnati's way. Messi had a goal, but sadly he was in an illegal position. Play resumed. Messi and DePaul, 2-man 2-ball on that far side touchline. DePaul now with space finds Suarez. Suarez playing Ian Frey, far side touchline right outside of the box. Could get some service in. The cross is through and headed away. Messi ends up with it now, and still on it are our Herons. But Cincinnati able to track it back. It was a good opportunity right outside of the penalty arc for Leo. Got a touch wrong. And now Segovia pressing and a foul. Referee blowing the whistle. So Telesco Segovia issued a foul, no card. Way too early for cards to be shown. But the roughhousing has begun. Samuel Giddy trying to box out Segovia. And the foul. 9 minutes, 0-0, Inter Miami and Cincinnati. Cincinnati trying a big switch to Buka. Ball in the air now. Segovia gets a foot on it right at midfield. Segovia and Suarez now on. Here's DePaul. That far side touchline, very active with Ian Frey as Messi's looking his way. Frey gets on it outside of the box. Another serviceable opportunity, but a good job by Brian Ramirez closing him down, and the ball rolls out of bounds. Oh, unlucky. Ian Frey was on the ball, but apparently that fully went across the line, according to the lines judge. Throw-in immediately played. 10th minute, 0-0. Yannick Bright winning the ball at midfield. He'll play it back to Gonzalo Luan. Lionel Messi leading the way in goals for Inter Miami this season with 9 total. He is third on the MLS Golden Boot race. He has 12 goal-scoring contributions. Remember, keep in mind, he just got the 100 mark with his 3 points last game with 2 assists and a goal. DePaul, far side touchline, 2-man-2 ball, him and Frey. DePaul, though, turning it over. 50-50 ball in the air. Can Frey win it? He doesn't, and on it is Brian Ramirez. Far side touchline. 11th minute, Samuel Giddy. Centralizing the ball now, Giddy to Valenzuela. Here's Buka on the near side touchline. Buka finds Dem, and he gets his change picked by Yannick Bright. Bright, though, can't find a man in pink, and that's going to be a throw-in on the near side touchline. Thrown into Den. Dem cutting in. Remember, he's one of the strikers, him and Kevin Danke, and a bad pass by Dem, intercepted by Inter Miami, and now on it to Paul. Miami got to get rid of it. Presses on for Cincinnati, as now streaking with it is Regulon. Regulon trying to switch his fields to Bertarame, but that one goes out of bounds. A bad pass. And in the 12th minute, Cincinnati going to have a throw-in. 0-0 Inter Miami and Cincinnati. Our Herons yet to have a shot on target. Cincinnati with 3 total shots on the game. So far, none on target. You had a good Evander chance, but he completely missed the goal. And speaking of a chance, here's Kevin Danke. Danke tried putting something on target, I believe. That took a deflection. I'm awaiting for the officials to signal for a goal kick or a corner kick, and that is going to be a corner kick presented by Leto Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Farnrath. Folks, all corner kicks on your Inter Miami Radio Network are presented by Leto Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Farnrath. Visit foryourrights.com. For over 40 years, Leto Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Farnrath have been serving injured families in South Florida. This is actually going to be a goal kick presented by Leto Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Farnrath, as the referees couldn't make up their mind, but thankfully our Inter Miami Herons with a goal kick, and that one immediately goes out of bounds. Inter Miami going to have a throw-in. .13th minute, 0-0 Inter Miami and Cincinnati. Regulon right out of the throw-in finds Yannick Bright. Bright in trouble. He's got to get rid of it. And finally, he retreats to the defense with Luan. Luan from outside the Herons box now treks inside the Herons box. He's still in trouble, and he turns it over. A couple of header passes by Cincinnati, and with it is the Herons with Regulon, but Buka winning it. Sloppy possession for both sides, but Cincinnati on in a dangerous spot. Valenzuela to Danke, and Segovia tracking back and able to rip Danke from behind at the final second. Sloppy. 13 minutes so far here in Cincinnati. Far side touchline on it for Cincinnati is Brian Ramirez. Both sides struggling to find their footing, struggling to keep the ball. Valenzuela, near side touchline to Buka, right outside of the box, Buka. Good job there by Regulon. Regulon trying to clear it away. A streaking header by Giddy. And Cincinnati's still going to be on it on the near side touchline after Giddy got it to Buka. All the defenses up with the attack. Kyle Smith now. Here's Buka finding Danke. Danke, good hold-up play. Finds Valenzuela. Now Evander. Giddy again. Cincinnati probing in Inter Miami territory, now on the far side touchline. Now they'll retreat to their defense in their own territory at the midfield circle. Near side touchline pass. Here's Smith. Smith in Inter Miami territory, looking for a streaking Danke, and that one will be a goal kick. So 15 minutes played, 0-0 Inter Miami and Cincinnati. Guillermo Hoyos trying to unlock the keys to the car. As Inter Miami hasn't had much offensively so far yet. Cincinnati has had some good spells, but too many turnovers for both sides. Both sides struggling to hang on to the ball early on, feeling each other out. Luan now will boot it away. He'll boot it right to Kevin Smith in the defense. Smith turns it over. Our Herons turn it over, and now there's a throw-in on the far side touchline. Ian Frey unable to hang on to that one. This one is played to Miles Robinson. Getting it now is Ramirez. Inching closer to midfield as Ian Frey wins the ball. Inter Miami in good form on the road. I mentioned that they could possibly break a record if they continue to have good results and wins on the road. Keyword wins. Segovia now with it in FC Cincinnati territory. Back to Suarez, 2-man-2 ball, him and Segovia. Segovia with space. Can he find Bertarame? Deflection still on it are our Herons. A nifty pass by Bertarame, but that's where it breaks down right outside the penalty arc. Cincinnati now with a deep through ball. They're looking for Kenji Dem. St. Clair well off of his lines. Will head it to Luan. Luan in trouble, but thankfully Ian Frey in the vicinity. Frey will turn and give it back to Luan, and Inter Miami will play out of their defense. Here is Mikael. Now on it is Suarez. Suarez inching closer towards the penalty arc, lays it up to Bertarame. Bertarame tried crossing it in, and we're going to have a corner kick presented by Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fromrath. For over 40 years, Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fromrath have been serving injured families in South Florida. Visit foryourrights.com. That is foryourrights.com. Taking the corner will be Lionel Messi, and boos ensue. Cincinnati, a proud bunch. So they sell this place out almost every single game. Not a lot of pink in this stadium tonight. 17 and a half minutes. Lionel Messi with a corner kick. Left foot in swinger. Header! Just over the bar. That was close. That was Yannick Bright getting an attempt on it. And we're going to do the same song and dance again, I believe. Got the last one wrong. This is actually going to be a goal kick. So not another corner, but it was a good attempt by Bright. Oh, boy. Salentano, the goalkeeper, I thought got a big paw on it, but it just went over the bar, and it's going to be a goal kick. Now, immediately off of the goal kick, we have a foul. Referee blowing his whistle, and this time going to ground is Kenji Dem. The man getting called for it is Mikael Silva. So Mikael called for the foul, no card. Still in the early phases of the game, the cards probably aren't going to be shown unless it's something egregious. But Inter Miami and their 6 straight road fixtures, if they win tonight, they'll tie the MLS record for 7 straight wins. Now, if they win tonight, Inter Miami will have to wait until after the World Cup to see if they could break the record. Speaking of breaking something, Inter Miami might break this deadlock with Lionel Messi finding Luis Suarez. Suarez cross in, looking for Bertarame at the back stick, and that one headed out back for a corner kick presented by Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fromrath. Visit foryourrights.com. For over 40 years, Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fromrath have been serving injured families in South Florida. foryourrights.com for more information. They have main offices in. But 0-0, another corner opportunity. Lionel Messi will take another left foot in swinger. From out of bounds into the penalty box. Messi, corner taken. Did someone get a head on it? And cleared away for now. Segovia with a one-timer outside of the box. And that's sent to the 10th row. So it'll be a goal kick for Cincinnati. But if Inter wins tonight, once again, if Inter wins tonight, that'll be 7 straight on the road. They won't play their next road fixture until July 25th. Apparently, we have a handball on Ian Frey. It was a free kick, and apparently it hit Frey. I thought that was shoulder worthy, but apparently it hit too much of the arm for the liking of the referee. Near side touchline now, Cincinnati on it. That's Pavel Buka looking for Denke. Denke's going to be streaking all night. These strikers, and Denke and Dem, have pace. They're Miami on it in their own territory. Reguilon now to Suarez. Wow, good build-up play. Suarez and Segovia. Segovia will find Bright. Right at the midfield circle is Messi. He now passes midfield. Leo with space. Leo still on it. Finds Suarez. Suarez was looking for DePaul, and DePaul not ready for it. That goes out of bounds. So Rodrigo and Luis not on the same page. It was a good attack there. Good build-up play. It turned into nothing. And now on it is Dane St. Clair. St. Clair, who has played the most minutes for Inter Miami this season. He's tied with Lionel Messi. The days of wondering if Lionel Messi are playing, those are certainly over. Far side touchline, Luan. Now Rodrigo to Paul. On it, Mikael. Near side touchline now, Reguilon. Reguilon going to cut in. Reguilon finds DePaul right at midfield. Rodrigo's got space. Rodrigo still with it, inching closer to the penalty arc. He'll lay it up to Messi. Messi finds Segovia. Segovia cuts into the box. Back to Leo outside the penalty arc. Suarez looking for Bertarame, still up for grabs. And now Bertarame. Here's Segovia. 22nd minute. Inter Miami probing. Luis Suarez. Suarez will switch his fields to Messi. Far side touchline side of the box is Leo and Ian Frey. And two-man two-ball with Frey and Messi. And Messi just sent that pass a little ahead of Ian Frey. And we're going to have a goal kick. That was good spell. That was good spell of play for Inter Miami. Dare I say the best of the night outside of the box. More opportunities like that, Inter Miami is going to make this Cincinnati defense pay. Our Herons are scoring. They've scored 13 goals in 6 games. Keep that in mind. 13 goals in 6 games. So Yannick Bright wins. I'll tell you what, they cannot do a goal. Cincinnati's struggling with a goal kick. As now Rodrigo de Paul is on it. He's looking for Messi in the box. Messi! Shot at a goal! Oh my goodness, that was an oopsie by the Cincinnati defense. But that one will count. Lionel Messi scoring a goal in the 23rd minute. 1-0 Inter Miami. A big-time oopsie for Cincinnati. To be fair,
and it was the action and combination between
that
Segovia
was
and Rodrigo de Paul.
A mixture of DePaul and company coming along and being able to find Messi in the box. Messi tried to play a pass back. It hit a Cincinnati defender, and then Messi basically walked it in. So it was a DePaul pass looking for Messi, and then Miyazaga tried, I think, passing it back, clearing it back, and Messi ends up with it, and he makes him pay. That's a big-time oopsie by Matt Miyazaga. And Lionel Messi now with 10 goals this season, and the scoring is officially opened up in the 23rd minute. 1-0 Inter Miami. So Cincinnati now looking for answers, down 1-0. Be a big switch to the far side touchline. Inter Miami 5-1-0 when scoring first this season. So things have gone Inter Miami's way and our Herons' way when they have scored first. But Miyazaga trying to, I think, pass it to Miles Robinson or his goalkeeper, Salentano. Regardless, Messi makes him pay. Far side touchline now. Here's Ramirez. Ramirez and Miles Robinson now. Robinson getting pressed by DePaul. On it now is Dem. Dem with a lot of space streaking towards the penalty arc. He was looking to lay it up. Our Herons not wavering defensively, but on it is Cincinnati and a shot for Buca. That was Pavel Buca outside of the box. Too close for comfort. Inter Miami did a good job of closing down Dem. But folks, I cannot explain to you the bounces that this ball is taking tonight. Mikael tried giving it to Segovia. It hit Segovia's back. Buca ended up back on it, and Buca had a mighty left foot that almost hit nothing but the back of the net on a finesse. DePaul turns it over. On it is Danke. Danke to Evander. Back to Danke. And Regulon able to clear it. 1-0, 26th minute. Lionel Messi, the goal scorer. Inter Miami up. Evander on it. Far side touchline. Guarded by DePaul. Evander blows by DePaul. Still on it. And I believe, no, we're not going to have an offside. Inter Miami defenders screaming for an offside on Miles Robinson. They're not going to get one. DePaul very upset. Beside himself. And now we have a big switch for Cincinnati as they will probe out of their defense. 27th minute, Inter Miami up 1-0 over Cincinnati. This is Valenzuela. He finds Dem. Dem getting it to Buca again. Buca looking for Evander. Good build-up play by Cincinnati. Now a 50-50 ball in the box. Danke ends up with it. Valenzuela looking for Evander. Cleared away by Mikael. Cincinnati on it again. Far side touchline, Ramirez. Now Giddy. Cincinnati probing onto their defense. Giddy now on it. One of the 5 midfielders, Samuel Giddy tonight. Another midfielder now, Valenzuela, guarded by DePaul. Big switch for Cincinnati. On it is Pavel. Suarez going to ground. He wants to throw in for Inter Miami. He won't get one. Cincinnati immediately throws it in, and he's back on it. Giddy finds Evander. And Danke streaking. A couple of Inter Miami defenders went to ground. I think they were looking for a foul. It was a good pass out of the defense to Danke. But Dane St. Clair did a good job of leaving his line and getting Inter Miami now on it, near side touchline. Now Mikael. Mikael in trouble. He'll play it back to St. Clair. St. Clair with a real bad pass, but thankfully Danke unable to get there, and now it rolls out of bounds. It'll be an Inter Miami throw. Good. I thought that one went off of Ian Frey, but that could have been an oopsie by Dane St. Clair, who had a slow roller to Frey. Happy it got there. Looked like Evander and Danke could have closed it down. Here is DePaul now. Messi, one-timer looking for Bertarame. And now Salentano, the goalkeeper, will play it to Ramirez. Miyazaga and Kyle Smith playing it out of the defense. Buca. He finds Valenzuela. And a nifty move by Dem, near side touchline. Dem finds Valenzuela again. Valenzuela taking the ground. No whistle, but he gets back up. Can he win it? And that's where Rodrigo DePaul gets it. DePaul back to Bright. Bright in trouble. skates away and finds Reguilon near side touchline. And Cincinnati intercepts. Bad pass. Bad spell of passes by Bright and Frey. And now on it is Miles Robinson. Here is Evander. 30th minute, 1-0 Inter Miami on top of Cincinnati. Near side touchline, Pavel Buka to Dem, back to Buka. Smith, near side touchline. Now on it is Miles Robinson as they switch their fields to the far side touchline. Cincinnati having a real tough go at trying to unlock the keys to the defense of Inter Miami. They've had 3 shots total in the game, none on target. With space, though, is Valenzuela. He finds Evander and Ramirez now on it, far side touchline. Ramirez to Valenzuela. Valenzuela service in. A dangerous pass looking for Evander. And Inter Miami able to clear it away, but it's going to be a corner kick presented by Lytle Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. Visit foryourrights.com. That is foryourrights.com. They've been serving injured families in South Florida for over 40 years. Taking the corner will be Evander, getting MVP chance. They love him here in Cincinnati. Evander with a right footer, outswinger. And a danger. I mean, he went for an Olympico there. I had to think about that for a second. He went for Lionel Messi there. But it's going to be a foul on Pavel Buka. Buka taking Yannick Bright to ground. But he went for the Olympico, and Dane St. Clair actually had to make a save on it. Nifty save, may I say. And now Dane will play it out of his box in the 32nd minute. St. Clair's still standing over it. Bertarame now gets it to Messi. Bertarame winning that goal kick. And now Inter Miami in business. Here's DePaul. DePaul looking back, stick to Suarez. And Luis tried putting the left foot on and got it all wrong. It'll be a goal kick for Cincinnati. Good effort. But Suarez unable to get that left foot. It was a good pass by DePaul, who, you know, Rodrigo, a couple of turnovers, but in true Rodrigo fashion this season, Rodrigo would turn it over and then do 3 really good things, and you forget about it. DePaul this season, 3 goals in the MLS as well. 33rd minute, Inter Miami up 1-0. Here is Evander. Evander cutting in. He's closed down by DePaul and Bright. DePaul taking the ground. I was about to say, clear foul. Head referee Alexis De Silva, by the way, tonight. I am at your mercy. I did not have a referee name, but De Silva, the referee, and blowing his whistle, and a foul. Rodrigo's still on the ground nursing a left leg injury. You could hear what the crowd thinks of that. But 34th minute, Inter Miami is going to have a free kick right outside of their own box. I should mention Herman Bertarame is rather hoping to get a call from Mexico for their national team. Bertarame can qualify for both Argentina and Mexican national teams. And we got to wait and see if Herman Bertarame is going to be on El Tri this year. DePaul turns it over. And Cincinnati on it with Evander. Evander still on a run of a go on the ball. No one stopping him and no foul call. De Silva says play on. Right outside of the box is Samuel. Now Dem. Cincinnati probing in Inter Miami territory. The defenders up with the attack. They get it to Valenzuela. Now Giddey. Ramirez finds Denke. Turnover by Denke, and Inter Miami's on it. Bertarame streaking. He finds Suarez near side touchline, and Luis will recycle it to the defense. It looked like the attack was on there. Luis decided to go backwards, but it looked like Bertarame or Messi could have had a run. But Inter Miami on the ball in the 35th minute, up 1-0 after a Lionel Messi goal. Bertarame now turns it over, and Giddey on it. Giddey finds Denke. Streaking back is Ian Frey. Can they get to him? Denke retreats to the far side touchline outside of the box. He finds Evander. Evander cuts into the penalty arc. He finds Valenzuela. Valenzuela stonewalled by Mikael. Great defense. Mikael. Valenzuela would have had a direct opportunity as now Lionel Messi releases on the far side touchline. DePaul was looking for him. But that'll end up with Cincinnati. On it now is Giddey. But a good job, folks. Mikael stonewalling Valenzuela. Dem now on it. Near side touchline, Pavel. Pavel Buka cuts in. Gets it back to Dem, and Telesco Segovia picks his pocket. Near side touchline, Smith. So Segovia doing a good job of thwarting the Cincinnati attack. Picked his pocket, but ran out of juice. Back on it is Cincinnati with Smith. Header Denke now looking for an FC attacker. Dane St. Clair, though, will play it out of his own box. St. Clair, hands on hips. Now moves the ball a bit. Cincinnati will smack on a press to speed up the goalkeeper. Lionel Messi with 22 touches tonight. Evander with 22 as well. So both number 10s very active tonight. Near side touchline, Mikael in Inter Miami territory. And now Buka gets a left boot on it. It'll be a throw-in for Inter Miami. Suarez now was looking for Messi, who wasn't ready for the ball, and stepping up and intercepting was Miles Robinson. Far side touchline, Brian Ramirez guarded by Ian Frey, and now Frey's going to get a card because he's swearing like a sailor, and yes, he gets a yellow card. Dare I say deserved. I love Ian Frey, but he had a lot of words to say, a lot of unfriendly words to say after that. And the first card of the game awarded to Frey, a booking in the 38th minute. Throw in far side touchline. Brian Samuel trying to switch his fields to Pavel Buka, and that'll roll out of bounds. That's going to be a throw in on the near side touchline in a dangerous position for Cincinnati right outside of the box. Throwing it in is defender Kyle Smith. Smith will lay it back to Valenzuela. Often you see those short throw-ins right outside of the box be gone into the box, but Cincinnati wants to probe instead. This is Giddey. Giddey finds Buka. Buka cross in, looking for Denke. Denke chests it down, and oh my goodness, we have a penalty. We have a penalty in the 39th minute. Denke did a good job shielding away Gonzalo Luan. And FC Cincinnati is awarded a penalty in the 39th minute. Gonzalo Luan on the foul. So Luan apparently ripped Denke to the ground. I don't see that is a blatant and clear flop. Now, listen, on the initial pass, there was pushing and tugging on both sides, but Denke immediately went to the ground, and Luan did not throw him to the ground. This is a man's game. You're allowed to be physical. Luan and Denke were physical, but I think Alexis De Silva might want to look at this with VAR. I'll tell you what, they better look at this. It's a joke if they don't look at it. Granted, I am an Inter Miami homer, household homer, hand up in the chat. But they got to look at this. Rodrigo De Paul refuses to move from the spot. They want VAR to look at this. I'm telling folks, I promise you, I am a homer. I get that, but that is not a penalty. That's never a penalty. There was pushing and shoving on the initial pass in. Once the ball was chested, nobody touched Denke. That's where I have the issue. And apparently this thing's going to stand. Denke approaches, shot, and initially stopped and into the back of the net for a goal. St. Clair chose right. He chose right. Denke went left. Obviously, Dane diving to his right. Got a touch of it, but it goes in the back of the net. Kevin Denke scoring his 8th goal of the year, and it's 1-1 in the 41st minute. That's a tough one, man. My OG onsite producer, Oscar Gonzalez, lead spotter, doesn't agree as well. I don't agree. But I thought Bright, what I thought they called, folks, I thought Bright came in and the problem was there. But apparently that's on Luan. And Kevin Denke with his 8th goal of the year. He's been a problem. I'll tell you what. Give him credit. He got the penalty kick awarded. And he is Cincinnati's leading goal scorer. And this thing is tied up 1-1. We're about 3 minutes away from extra time presented by our local South Florida Audi dealer as Messi immediately on the attack finds Frey. Dangerous spot, Berterame. Berterame goes to the ground in the box. And no penalty for him. And to be fair, I don't think one was deserved. But it was a good job by Messi right off with the jump. Found a streaking Ian Frey on the far side touchline. Passed it in. Was looking for Berterame. Birdie couldn't stay on his feet. But I believe we do have a corner kick presented by Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Farnrath. Visit foryourrights.com. For 40 years, Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Farnrath have been serving injured people and their families in South Florida. Lionel Messi with the left foot, outswinger, and he went for an Olympico, and Salentano boots it away, but the Herons are on it. Here is Segovia to Reguilon. Reguilon back stick looking for Mikael. Thwarted away, but DePaul's on it. DePaul gets it to Segovia. Gonzalo Luan, by the way, awarded a yellow card. I believe for arguing. Wasn't a card on the foul, but streaking in is DePaul. DePaul found Suarez. Suarez looking for Mikael. Nobody home. But on it is Frey on the far side touchline. Inter Miami probing in Cincinnati territory. Right outside of the box. DePaul tries to cross someone in, and we have a corner kick presented by Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Farnrath. Visit foryourrights.com. That is foryourrights.com. For 40 years, they have been serving injured people and their families in South Florida. So DePaul will take a right foot in swinger. Actually, he'll take it short to Messi. Messi now, right outside of the box. Gets it to Luan. Luan puts the ball in, and Mikael on it. Now Bright scrubbed for it in the box, and now cleared away by Cincinnati. But Segovia is on it on the near side touchline. Danger not over. Reguilon now services it in. A header for Berterame goes to ground. No foul, and now Messi on it. Messi gets it to DePaul. So a couple of crossing header opportunities for Inter Miami have not been fruitful, but they have smacked on the pressure here in the 44th minute. 1-1. A Kevin Denke penalty kick for Cincinnati, and a Lionel Messi goal after a Matt Miyazaga oopsie. Two weird goals in this game so far, but it's 1-1. Reguilon, near side touchline. Servicing it into the box to the back stick. Ian Freyholm. Now Messi on it. Messi shot it just to the left of the goal. Oh my goodness. Leo wants that back. Good service in. A header that got deflected to Messi. And Messi in the box gave a good left foot. And he just missed it. Oh, he wants that back. He knows it too. Oh, my goodness. You give that to Lionel Messi. He's finishing it 8 out of 10 times. 4 minutes of extra time presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Visit AudiUSA.com to learn more. Folks, test drive the brand new Q3 or find out more information at AudiUSA.com. Folks, Audi is the official electric and premium car partner for Inter Miami CF football. Once again, the official premium and electric car partner of IMCF football. At this point, I think Cincinnati would like to go to half. Denke goes to ground. It's never a foul. Foul blown by head referee Alexis De Silva, and Cincinnati will go quick. Far side touchline, Evander. Evander now finds Ramirez, and he's closed down by Luan and Frey. And Inter Miami finds something before the half. They turn it over. On it is Giddy, and Mikael doing a good job of clearing it out of danger. It'll be a throw-in right outside of the box. Now, the last time Cincinnati had this, they didn't throw it into the box. They played it back to their defense. But throwing it in with the duties is Ramirez. Ramirez looking towards the box. And he finds Valenzuela. Now back to Ramirez. Ramirez, far side touchline. He'll play it back to the FC defenders. FC Cincinnati and Miles Robinson out. Robinson, good turn there by Valenzuela on the pass. Looking for Kevin Denke in the box, throwing it away. To ground is Bright. No call, but good news is Inter Miami on it with space now. Luis Suarez. Near side touchline, Suarez. He'll play it back to Reguilon. Reguilon with space, streaking. And that's where it breaks down right outside of the penalty arc. He was looking for DePaul, but Mikael on it on the near side touchline. 47 minutes. 2 minutes of the allotted 4 have been played. 1-1 Inter Miami and Cincinnati. Inter Miami probing in FC Cincinnati territory with Lionel Messi. Messi finds Frey. Frey trying to service it in, and we have a corner presented by Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Farmrath. Folks, for over 40 years, they have been serving injured people and their families in South Florida. Visit foryourrights.com. That is foryourrights.com. 1-1 your score. Messi plays it short. DePaul crossing it in. Looking for someone back stick. Still on it. It's Inter Miami and Bertarame. Bertarame put a shot on and it rolls to the left of Calistano's goalpost. Oh my goodness. It was good service by DePaul. There was a scrum for it in the middle of the penalty box. And then on it is Bertarame. And Bertarame tried putting a right foot and he got it all wrong. And in the 48th minute, 3 minutes of the allotted 4, Salentano, the goalkeeper for Cincinnati, will boot it away. Oh, golly. That was a good opportunity. Rodrigo, good service in all night. And now Pavel Buka and Mikael fighting on the near side touchline. And now that's where the flag goes up. Buka was offsides. Inter Miami will try to play this quick. 20 seconds left of the allotted 4 minutes. As Ian Frey tracks it down on the near side touchline. Back to Luan. Luan now boots it away, looking for Birdie. And a bad turnover by Frey on the far side touchline, but Yannick Bright does a good job of winning it back. Lionel Messi right at the midfield circle. He gets it to Segovia. Probably the last opportunity for our Herons this half. Far side touchline. This is DePaul. Can DePaul service in again? There it is! A header for Reguilon, and that rolls out of bounds. Did an FC defender get a touch on it is the question. Pavel Buka was in the vicinity, and he goes to ground with a head injury, but him and Reguilon were fighting on that back stick. It looked like an opportunity. And I believe that was the halftime whistle, and that is the halftime whistle. So halftime, folks, 1-1 your score. Inter Miami opening up the scoring with Lionel Messi to start. Messi had a 24th minute goal after a Matt Miyazaga oopsie. Miyazaga, the center back for Cincinnati, a pathetic pass that Messi intercepted one time for a goal, and then the Kevin Danke penalty kick in the 41st minute. Listen, I am an Inter Miami homer, and so is my OG on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez. But we both thought that was a pretty weak penalty. 1-1 halftime. Your halftime report coming up next on your Inter Miami Radio Network.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey, Irv, you watching the game?
Watching. I'm all over these live bets on the Hard Rock Bet app right now. Brother, I'm in the game. That's a quick winner. Si se puede. Si se puede. Si se
Live
puede.
betting on Hard Rock Bet makes any game worth celebrating.
Si se.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start live betting today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football, because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients in South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath, proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
Picture this: a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-9087. 800-575-9087. That's 800-575-9087, or simply visit tra.com.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
When you see the big smoke.
Gol de
The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Now let's get to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Your halftime report presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. AudiUSA.com to learn more. Folks, Audi is the official electric and premium car partner of IMCF. Inter Miami at the break with a 1.14 XG. 7 shots, 1 on target. Same said for Cincinnati. 7 shots, 1 on target, but they have a 1.1 XG. Believe it or not, Inter Miami is losing the possession battle. Cincinnati with 53, Inter Miami with 47. There have been 6 corners in the game, 5 for Inter Miami, 1 for FC Cincinnati. 10 total fouls, 6 for Inter Miami, 4 for Cincinnati. 2 yellow cards, all on our Herons, Ian Frey and Gonzalo Luan. Let's take a look at the Inter Miami bench because I think both of those players will be off of the pitch at some point. Off the bench available tonight, Maxi Falcone, who's usually a starter for Guillermo Hoyos, but this is the second straight game where Falcone will be coming off of the bench. I could see him coming on for Luan, who is on a yellow, and then Ian Frey, you got Facundo Mora, who will be his substitute. You could also substitute Abadi Arita. He plays fullback as well. So a couple of things tactically to keep in mind for Inter Miami. I also think that Matteo Silvetti, who is fit and available tonight, he'll be coming onto the pitch for Luis Suarez at some point today, or rather, tonight. Silvetti, who was dealing with a hamstring injury for a little bit, yet he suffered against New England. He's been dealing with that, but now is available and healthy and ready to rock. We do have the 1 goal scoring highlight for our Herons in that first half. My guy Kate Chumsland back at the City Play Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Here's Lionel Messi straight up thieving a goal from Matt Miyazaga, who had a big-time oopsie in the box. As now Rodrigo de Paul is on it. He's looking for Messi in the box. Messi! Shot at a goal! Oh, my goodness, that was an oopsie by the Cincinnati defense. But that one will count. Lionel Messi scoring a goal in the 23rd minute, 1-0 Inter Miami. So Matt Miyazaga went to pass it. I think he was either looking for Miles Robinson or a goalkeeper, Salentano. Once again, in net tonight, Roman Salentano, the 25-year-old American. Miyazaga was looking to his right, put a pathetic left foot pass attempt to one of the two. Messi straight up thieved it, doing his best Puskas impression, and things were 1-0 at that point. Now, we don't have the goal-scoring highlight because I was pouting, but Denke had a penalty kick goal in the 41st minute. Folks, you're going to have to look for it yourself. I do not think that Denke should have been awarded a penalty. Gonzalo Luan, they were fighting tooth and nail in the box, Luan and Denke, both going at each other really hard. But when the ball actually came to the feet of Denke straight up just went to ground. It wasn't ripped down. I know I'm the household Inter Miami homer. I get all that. Hand up in the chat. I am the first Inter Miami homer out there. But folks, looking at it objectively, that was not a penalty. So Inter Miami tied 1-1 with Cincinnati at the break. A lot of good, some bad. I think the bad, Ian Frey and Luan. I don't think, and also, I don't think our Herons have done a good job of pacing themselves with the ball. The passing back and forth around the box, I think, could be a little better. A lot of turnovers. They're losing the possession battle, which hardly happens with the Herons. So I think just cleaning up some passes and cleaning up some things offensively, Inter Miami will be able to attain victory in the second half. And you saw before the half ended, the press was on. Inter Miami had 2 chances before that half where they could have scored. So keep slapping on that press. Keep making things tough for Cincinnati, and keep a lookout for Denke, who has been an absolute problem so far in this game. Let's take a timeout on our halftime report on our Inter Miami Radio Network. When we come back, we got the second half here on ESPN 106.3.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-7473. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a good karma brands radio station.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey, Michael Irvin, another promo just dropped on Hard Rock Bet. I got a profit boost this morning. Whoa, and a huge bonus bet just hit my account. Is the app on fire like this every week?
Only on days that end in Y. Like today, yesterday, all day, every day.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start playing today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Did you miss Theoretically Speaking? Dean Thomas, we were putting the baby registry together. I would love to put on my baby registry a coffee machine.
Of course, that's essential.
The energy that I am going to consume from the coffee machine that baby Dean Thomas gets me from my baby registry, it's only like $700.
No.
Transmitted to my beautiful baby boy.
I've been drinking coffee since I was like 5.
Maybe that's...
Now imagine if I had good coffee.
It's Theoretically Speaking, weekdays at 2, here on ESPN 1063.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients in South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath, proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football, because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
Picture this: a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer is always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 1063. Let's get back to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
So Inter Miami tied with FC Cincinnati 1-1 here at the break. We're just a couple of minutes away from kicking things back off in the second half. Inter Miami able to get a goal with Lionel Messi. As I mentioned, Messi straight up just took it off the foot of Miyazaga, who had a big-time oopsie, a big-time bad pass, and then the danky goal. I will say, sloppy on both sides. It was a sloppy half, I think, for both sides. I think Cincinnati, on their inability, I think, to finish where it counts. They did have a couple of dangerous opportunities within the Inter Miami defense, but the same thing could be said for our Herons. They had 5 corner kicks. It was 4 more than Cincinnati in that half, and none of them bared fruit. And then you had a couple where back stick opportunities where Rodrigo DePaul was really servicing in some great passes. I mean, DePaul, first off, Rodrigo, who I always say, Rodrigo have a horrible turnover. It's like, oh my God. And then he'll do like 3 more good things, and then he'll have another bad turnover. But like, overall, DePaul, I think, has made a direct impact on this game and throughout the season. I even think Guillermo Hoyos would probably like Rodrigo to clean up some of the turnovers, but I think DePaul did enough to have an assist in that half, specifically at the back stick. So Inter Miami going to be trying to find some answers here as it's 1-1. something that's on the line, something that I've mentioned before on our Inter Miami radio network. Inter Miami has won 6 games, 6 straight MLS matchups on the road. If they win tonight, that would be 7. So if they win tonight, that would be 7, and that would tie the MLS record of most consecutive road wins in an MLS season. Now, the issue is they would have to wait until after the World Cup to see if they could break that streak, because the next road fixture Inter Miami will have after tonight will be July 25th. So we'll have to play the wait and see game. There's going to be 3 home fixtures. There's 3 more games for Inter Miami after this, before we really get into the swing of things of the World Cup, and they're all going to be home fixtures. So something that I'm looking at is going to be that, and how healthy Inter Miami is going to be too, for those games, because those are going to be 3, I think, games where you're going to want to end on a good note. You know, you got Matteo Silvetti healthy. Luis Suarez, I think, has been in great form. You know, knock on wood, the great one, Lionel Messi, you know, he's been in great form with his goal tonight. That's 10 goals for Leo on the MLS season. As now we are waiting for our Inter Miami Herons to come back out onto the pitch. And coming back out is Dane St. Clair. He guessed right on that penalty, man. Got a hand on it. Sadly, Denke put a strong attempt on it. Dane unable to parry it, but he did get a glove on it. But if things were to stand right now on the Eastern Conference table, Cincinnati would be 8th. Inter Miami would be 2nd. Now, the only teams who have played 13 games, the Crew, Orlando, Red Bull, DC United, and then obviously Inter Miami and Cincinnati. The 2 teams that are ahead of Cincinnati that have played games are Red Bull, NYCFC, and DC United, who have played the 13th game. But I'm looking, Toronto could have an opportunity to overtake, and even Chicago. By the way, Chicago down 1-0. There are a plethora of MLS fixtures going on right now. We could quickly go around the MLS as we wait for our Herons to get out onto the pitch. NYCFC up 1-0 at Charlotte. Montreal up 2-1 over the Timbers at home for Montreal. DC United up 1-0 at Chicago in DC. Obviously, Cincinnati and our Herons deadlocked 1-1. The Revolution down 2-0 to Nashville. That's battle of 1 versus 2 in the Eastern Conference. Nashville, the top team. New England, the second team. Orlando up 2-0 in Orlando against Philadelphia. The Red Bull up 2-1 against the Crew. Dallas tied with Vancouver 0-0. Minnesota and the Rapids tied 0-0. Sporting and the Galaxy 0-0. And then St. Louis on top of LAFC 1-0. And then those Western Conference fixtures 9 minutes in. The Dallas, Minnesota, Sporting, and St. Louis games 9 minutes in. Still waiting on our Herons. It'd be a very big surprise in St. Louis, by the way, if that score stands. LAFC coming off a battering at home, the Houston Dynamo, 4-1. LAFC lost to the Dynamo 4-1 at home. No Denny Bouanga in that game, but still. And finally, we are underway here in the second half as Evander and Cincinnati kick things off. 1-1 Cincinnati and our Herons deadlocked. And Cincinnati trying to play it forward, but Dane St. Clair now on it in his box. TQL Stadium, Cincinnati. Our Herons are trying to make it 7 straight road matchup wins. Regulon, far side touchline pass, looking for Bertarame. Bertarame unable to get an accurate header on it. And Cincinnati now will probe out of their defense. DePaul nicked the ball for a minute. And now we have a stoppage of play. Alexis De Silva blowing his whistle and a foul on Telasco Segovia. So 1 minute in, 46 minute, first foul of the half, no card. Standing over it is Matt Miyazaga, who had the oopsie in the first half, which led to the Lionel Messi goal. Temperature down to about 59 degrees. As a Midwest kid from Cleveland, Ohio, that is prime weather. I'll take 60 any day of the week in that state. Far side throw in. Inter Miami trying to win the ball back. It's going to be an FC Cincinnati throw in. Both teams taking their time here early on in the second half. And now head referee Alexis De Silva says time to throw it in. Cincinnati throws it in and boots it towards the Inter Miami goal. Dane St. Clair now plays it out of his box and he rolls the ball back into his box. 1-1. St. Clair still directing traffic, trying to find an open man. They'll lay it up to Bright. Bright now to Mikael. Big pass forward. That ball deflected by Smith. And it'll be a throw-in for our Herons. Regulon going to throw it in on the far side touchline. He finds Suarez. Suarez going to switch his fields to Ian Frey. Frey now finds Messi near side touchline. Leo cuts in and taken to ground. No foul. Miles Robinson apparently got the ball. Danke now streaking, and he finds Giddy. Giddy near side touchline in Inter Miami territory. Probing now is Valenzuela right outside the midfield circle, and Luis Suarez fouls Valenzuela. Suarez upset that it wasn't a foul on Lionel Messi. Call that retaliation. Cincinnati will recycle to the defense in the far side touchline to their fullback, Kyle Smith. Smith now back to Miyazaga. 48th minute, 1-1 Inter Miami and Cincinnati. Danke pushed from behind, and there's a foul. Gonzalo Luan's got to be careful. He's on a yellow card. That was clearly a foul. But Evander now, off the free kick, finds Smith. Far side touchline. This is Ramirez. Ramirez to Danke. Danke with a nice turn. He gets it over to Ramirez. Ramirez cross edge, shot, goal! That's Pavel Buka on the far post on that back stick. Brian Ramirez with great service in. Finds Pavel Buka on the back stick. Folks, it's 2-1 in the 49th minute. Cincinnati on top. So a slow 2 minutes. Both teams kind of feeling each other out, and then all of a sudden, fireworks. Good build-up play. Danke with a nice turn. Good hold-up play. He found Ramirez. Ramirez left foot cross in. Buka right foot back stick. St. Clair never had a chance. That was a good finish, too. Near post, right foot on the back stick. That's a tidy finish. So Pavel Buka, 2-1. Our Herons now got some work to do. Near side touchline, this is Ian Frey. Frey immediately dispossessed Gideon Ramirez. Ramirez now back on it. Here is Danke. Danke right outside of the box on the near side touchline is dispossessed by Ian Frey. Now Inter Miami will try to get it out of their defense as Cincinnati is slapped on a press. Far side touchline, Bertarame. Here is Messi, right at midfield. Messi looking for a deep through ball. That ball deflected by Dem. Dem, one of the two strikers up top, him and Denke. This is Yannick Bright. Yannick Bright inches closer to the far side touchline. Now he goes in the middle to Segovia. Segovia finds Messi, far side touchline. Cincy has parked it. Scrum for it and a foul. That's going to be on Matt Niazaga. Luis Suarez going to ground. And Lionel Messi's going to have a free kick. I always say it. I think it's too far, and then he proves me wrong. So Messi going to have a free kick opportunity. I personally think it's too far for goal. Standing over it is Suarez and DePaul. And now Messi is here. Messi will put a shot on. It's probably, what, Oscar, 10 yards from the penalty circle? Yeah. 10 yards outside of the penalty arc. Lionel Messi will definitely try to put this on target. 52nd minute, folks, 2-1. Inter Miami down to Cincinnati. It was a Pablo Buca goal. A good assist on the back stick by Brian Ramirez. It's his second goal of the year, by the way, Buca. He's got 3 assists to boot. But Lionel Messi, 10 yards outside of the penalty circle, will have a direct free kick opportunity. Messi waiting for the whistle. Now he's good to go. Leo approaches, takes it, and right at Salentano, who falls on the ball. Good effort. It was right at the goalkeeper, Roman Salentano. 53rd minute, still 2-1. Pablo Buca, by the way, the goal scorer, I mentioned his second goal of the year. He's got 3 assists on the year. And he is a veteran player, 28 years old, from the Czech Republic. Inter Miami now on it again. Ian Frey tried ball rolling past Ramirez, and that's going to be a throw-in for Frey. Frey immediately plays it to Luan. Mikael now gets it to DePaul. DePaul passes midfield. Looking for Ian Frey. Frey's got space, folks. Near side touchline. Service in. Looking back stick for Suarez. Luis unable to chest it down. And that one will roll out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in. But not a bad ball from Ian Frey. Suarez tried to get a head on it. I think he was just trying to play it down to himself. Got it all wrong. And throw in for Inter Miami. On it now is Bertarame cutting in. Here is Rodrigo DePaul looking for Suarez, intercepted by Giddy. Kid Cincinnati hit on the counter. This is Evander. Evander lays it up to Denke. A nifty pass, but thankfully Gonzalo Luan is there. Luan streaking past all of the attackers for Cincinnati, finding Suarez. Now near side touchline, DePaul. Advantage play for Inter Miami as Suarez goes to ground. On it is Lionel Messi in Cincy territory, and now we have a foul. Valenzuela a little too agitated on the defensive end. Messi immediately plays it from the free kick. On it is Segovia. Back to Leo. Leo to Segovia again. Right outside of the penalty arc now is Messi. Messi to Suarez. Near side touchline. The ball pass shot. Goal! Lionel Messi with a brace. What a pass from Rodrigo DePaul, finding Messi in the box. And Leo with 3 goals in 2 games ties it up in the 55th minute. DePaul, Suarez, Messi, all on the same wavelengths. It was Messi to Suarez, Suarez to the ball, and then Leo with a streaking left foot in the box ties it up. Beautiful play. Dare I say, best build-up play of the year for Inter Miami. Strap in, folks. We got a crazy one at TQL Stadium. Game on. Play resumed in Cincinnati. Immediately looking for answers now. Pressure is on. Inter Miami has the momentum. They have the wind. And a bad turnover by Luan. Dakey in the box lays it up to Ramirez. And I believe we have a handball on Ramirez. A offsides on Ramirez after Dakey must have played the pass too soon. But wow, Luan got ripped, and now Dankey was actually the one offsides, now that we see the replay. So that whole mix-up with Dankey running loose should have never happened because he was 10 yards offsides, and that's what Mikael was hollering about. And my OG onside producer, Oscar Gonzalez, was ahead of it before anybody. So 57th minute, let's forget about that whole ordeal like it never happened. It's funny. I say Inter Miami has the wind, and, all of a sudden Dankey's one-on-one with the keeper. But offsides is the call. Call it the commentator's curse. Now, I did that for the Orlando game, and I'm getting ripped for it on our YouTube chat to this day still. But yeah, I started the party too soon. But the party's on at TQL Stadium 2-2, and Lionel Messi on the ball, and he gets his change ripped by Ramirez. Now it's Cincinnati's turn to turn it over. Messi back on the ball at the penalty circle, at the midfield circle, and now a foul. Ramirez getting a little too handsy with Messi. Messi wanted a card, no card. But 58th minute, Messi on it. Pass into the box, looking for Reguilon. Bertarame is there, though. Birdie, far side touchline in Cincy territory. It's it back to Mikael. Defenders up with the attack. Now to DePaul. Inter probing. DePaul in, looking for Messi, and oh my goodness, he almost got his left foot on the other end. He just missed a beautiful pass from DePaul, a diving effort by Lionel Messi, and that rolls out of bounds. DePaul throwing his hand up. That was a good pass. Oh, it's unlucky. It's unlucky Leo couldn't get on the other end of that. I think he went to ground a tad too early. He might have even been able to chest that. But Inter Miami's flying right now in the 59th minute, 2-2. Lionel Messi on a brace. The goal scorers for Cincinnati are Dankey and Buka. Messi in the 24th and the 55th. Dankey with a spot kick, a penalty kick in the 41st. Buka in the 49th. Salentano on the ball. DePaul almost intercepted that pass by Salentano. Would have been a walking goal. But Cincinnati able to thwart the Inter Miami defense. Dane St. Clair comes off of his line, or rather lets the ball come to the box. Good marshalling there. Well marshaled by St. Clair. Segovia on it. Trying to pass midfield, and he's fouled. That's going to go against Evander. Evander's walking away with the ball with disgust. And now we're going to have a substitution. Echenike going to be coming on. And he'll take off Giddy. So Echenike. Coming on here. Giddy coming off. First substitution of the night. Won't be the last. Both sides probably going to empty their benches tonight in a 2-2 deadlock right now in the 60th minute. Rodrigo DePaul on it. Rodrigo cuts in right outside the penalty arc. He finds Segovia. Segovia back to Mikael. defenders up with the attack for Inter Miami. Suarez was looking for a streak in Bertrame, and now we have a turnover. Here is Danke right at midfield. Now he cuts back, getting closed down. Can Inter Miami get on it? Suarez with a header. Here's Messi. Leo outside the penalty arc. Oh my goodness, almost had Suarez wide open, but that was a good deflection by Cincinnati. Herons back on it though. The ball pass looking for Messi. Thwarted away. Here comes Segovia. Far side touchline. Back heel to Reguilon. Reguilon trying to service it in, and Bertrame ends up with it in the box, and it rolls out of bounds. That was a great back heel pass on that far side touchline to Reguilon. Reguilon got the pass all wrong, and poor Bertrame found himself on the other end of a hospital pass, and that's going to be a goal kick for Cincinnati. But Inter Miami, they got the win. We have the win in the 61st minute. Messi on it again in the box, lays it up to Suarez. Suarez shot, and it hits the bar. And now, I think, and is it going to be a corner kick? It is, presented by Lytle Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Farnrath. Visit foryourrights.com. Folks, I can't believe Messi laid that up. Messi, I thought, had a direct opportunity on net. Leo laid it up to Suarez, and Luis took a touch. Give credit to Miles Robinson, who went to ground and got a last-ditch effort on it. That would have been a goal. But it's a corner kick presented by Lytle Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Farnrath. foryourrights.com. 40 years they've been serving injured people and their families in South Florida. Messi on it right outside of the box. Finds DePaul. It was a short corner. DePaul service in. Luan gets a header on it, and it goes behind the byline. It'll be a goal kick. Hindsight 2020, maybe Leo keeps that and puts a shot on target. But give credit to Miles Robinson. Suarez took a nice touch with his left foot, and he was going to go left foot on target. And Robinson and Miyazaga both going to ground and getting a piece of the ball. But the win still with Inter Miami, as Rodrigo DePaul now on it. Outside the penalty arc. Cincinnati cannot keep the ball. Frey, service in from the near side touchline. In the box is Reguilon, and he's looking for Messi. Intercepted by Buca. And now on the run is Cincinnati. On it is Evander. Evander pass to Danke. Danke with space. Back to Evander. Evander cuts into the penalty arc. Evander going to have an opportunity shot. Oh my goodness, what a goal! Evander! What a goal! Right outside of the penalty arc. Upper 90, left corner pocket. 3-2, Cincinnati. This is end-to-end stuff in the 63rd minute. What a goal by Evander. Oh my goodness. Nobody stopped him. So the Evander, who just subbed on Echenike in the midfield, found Danke, and then Evander, the attacker, blows past DePaul and Luan. Nobody stepped up. Yannick Bright or Mikhail, none of them stepped up. And I saw it. That's why I said he's going to have an opportunity. And oh my goodness, that is a tidy finish. One of the better finishes you'll see this season. Upper 90, left corner pocket. Our Herons down 3-2. End-to-end stuff. Man, I know it's cliche, but that's why you gotta take advantage of goal scoring opportunities. Golden opportunity with Luis in the box there. Granted, I thought it was a bit unlucky. It was a bit unlucky for Suarez not to score there with Miles Robinson getting a boot on it. But then it turned right into an opportunity for Cincinnati off of the replay in. And now on it are our Herons. We do have a substitution for Kundo Mora coming on for Sergio Reguilon. So Mora on, Reguilon off. Changing of the left back here in the 65th minute. Suarez, near side touchline, looking for Frey. That rolls out of bounds. Going to be a Cincy throw. And the crowd's come alive here in Cincinnati. Buca gets it off the throw-in from Ramirez. Valenzuela now. To Miyazaga. Here's Robinson. Back to Miyazaga. Now they'll recycle to the goalkeeper. Roman will boot it. He finds Danke at midfield. Danke to Dem. By the way, Evander, you think the way he scores goals, he'd be a striker. He's actually a 10. Plays in midfield, and now what should have been a handball is not, and Danke is on the run again for Cincinnati, right outside of the penalty arc. Cincinnati sets up. Bright goes to ground, and now we have a foul. Danke getting a cleat on Bright that maybe could be a card. Lionel Messi wants a card. Let's hit station identification. Let's hit our legal ID here all across our Inter Miami Radio Network. Station identification.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-7473. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
So we're seeing the replay on the goal. Again, Luan blown by. DePaul blown by. Mikael or Bright, nobody stepped up. And, you know, it was a hezzy move to the right to that penalty arc, right foot on target, and a goal. Got to be better there defensively, no question. But still a lot of time to get a result. It's 3-2 Cincinnati, 67th minute. Still time for Inter Miami to get a result. Far side touchline, Mora. Facundo Mora still on it. No play to DePaul. DePaul cutting in. And he'll now go near side touchline to Frey. Back to DePaul. DePaul cuts in. Back to Facundo Mora. Far side touchline, Segovia. Segovia to Bright. New Miami, good spell of possession, good passing. As I say that, the announcer's curse gets tipped, but on it is Mikael. Now Segovia finds DePaul. Rodrigo to Messi. Messi with acres of space. Messi cuts into the penalty area, finds Berterame, and Messi goes to ground. They're looking for a whistle. I don't think they're going to get one. On it is Echenique. Echenique now to Pavia. And Inter Miami now wins it after Pavia tried clearing it. To Paul to Messi. Messi outside the penalty arc. Looking for Berterame, and Berterame can't get there. That one's scooped up by the goalkeeper, Celentano. But Messi tried getting a pass from Berterame, and Berterame almost megged Pavia. That was, or excuse me, Miyazaga. Miyazaga. And now Inter Miami's still on it with their defender, Mikael, in their own territory. Now they'll retreat to Dane St. Clair. Nathan in our YouTube chat says Birdie needs to come off and Silvetti needs to come on. I thought Silvetti would be checking in for Luis Suarez at any moment. We do have substitutions on the sidelines waiting to come in. We'll get you guys numbers as soon as they get announced onto the pitch. And now we have a foul. Rodrigo DePaul going to ground on the near side touchline. That one's going to go against Pavel Buca, the goal scorer in the 44th minute. So 70th minute, Inter Miami on it in Cincinnati territory. Here's Lionel Messi. He finds Suarez. DePaul looking for Berterame. Birdie's in the box. Dangerous spot. And now he'll retreat back to DePaul, and DePaul gets the pass thwarted away by Evander. Berterame back on it. Here's DePaul cutting towards the penalty arc. He finds Segovia. Now near side touchline, Mora, right outside of the box. Is he going to service in? He's not. He'll lay it up to the defense of Mikael. 3-2, Cincinnati on top, 70th minute. Here's Ian Frey, near side touchline. He'll recycle to Luan. And now, here's Bright. Back to Bertarame and now DePaul. DePaul, I think, was looking back stick. That one had to have been deflected, or it's either that or he got the pass all wrong. And that one scooped up by Salentano. Cincinnati now on at far side touchline. Valenzuela with space at midfield. He'll come near side touchline to Brian Ramirez. Ramirez looking for Danke on a big switch. Danke on the far side touchline. Lets Echenique get it. Now Danke back to Buka. Ball ripped by Yannick Bright. That was a good job by Yannick Bright to pick the pocket of Buka. Pick his change. Now near side touchline, a fight for it between Brian Ramirez and Ian Frey. It'll be a throw-in for our Herons. Now, here come the substitutions. Bear with me. We're going to have 3 substitutions for Cincinnati. So Hagelin going to come on for Robinson. Churla going to come on for Miyazaga. And I'm waiting on the third, folks. But defensively, Cincinnati pulling their 3 defenders out in the 3-5-2 formation that they were in. Hagelin and Churla are on for Robinson and Miyazaga. And I'll get you guys that third substitution here in just a moment. And now, ball out of bounds. Inter Miami unable to attain it. Far side touchline throw in for Cincy. On it now is the recently subbed on Chirla. Now Inter Miami throws on a press. They got to get something going here. And they win the ball with Mikael. Now here's Rodrigo DePaul. DePaul with space. Far side touchline to Luis Suarez. Suarez passing to Messi. Messi right outside the penalty arc. Still on it. Ball on a string. Leo shot. And it's going to be a corner kick. Presented by Letter Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrat. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Leo, good spell of play in the box. Would have been a shot on target. It was a good job by Hagelin getting a boot on it at the final moment. But Messi going to have a left foot in swinging corner. He boots it in. Header, and Mikael sends it to the 10th row. So Noah Bodo is that third substitution who checked in. He's playing midfield tonight. So Noah Bodo, Hagelin, Chirla, and Echenique, the 4 subs so far for Cincinnati. Matteo Silvetti is putting a shirt on that near side touchline where the players check in. So I assume within the next minute or two, Silvetti will be checking onto the pitch. Free kick for Inter Miami after a foul immediately played. Messi was looking for a streaking Suarez, and now we have a throw-in on the far side touchline after a deflection. 74.5 minutes, 3-2, Cincinnati on top. Goal scorers, Danke, Buka, and Evander. Messi has a brace tonight for the Herons. Segovia to Mikael. Now Luan. Near side touchline, Frey. Frey looking for Messi, middle of the pitch, intercepted. On it now, Kyle Smith, the lone defender left in the game from the starters. Luan bumped by Danke. No foul. You hear the crowd's disbelief. Luan fired up. Echenique now on it. He finds Evander. Noah Boda and Evander 2-man 2 ball. Now Echenique dispossessed. DePaul goes to ground. No whistle, but Inter Miami on. Now we have a whistle and we have a card. Not only a whistle, we got a card. Number 5, that's going to go against Obina Nwuboda, who just checked on. Nwuboda, excuse me, amend your mercy, Nwuboda, who just checked in. A booking in the 76th minute. And we do have substitutions coming on for Inter Miami. Davi Ruiz will come onto the pitch. And Matteo Silvetti. Or excuse me, not Ruiz quite yet. It's Silvetti on the pitch, and off the pitch is Luis Suarez. So what I thought would happen in the 75th did happen. Silvetti on for Suarez. This is a very agitated Cincinnati crowd. A lot of calls feel like they're not going their way on fouls as Yannick Bright now straight yellow. Honestly, it's a good card, if I'm being honest. Had to stop play there since he had something going. Ramirez was the man who got fouled, but he had acres of space and a streaking Denki. So if you think for Inter Miami, Davi Ruiz could come on for Bright. Aishala, but, you know, after the oopsie that Aishala had on Saturday, do you trust him in a big spot like that? And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, Aishala completely missed the ball on a pass in the box and it led to a goal. I don't think Hoyos is going to sub him on, but we'll have to wait and see. As a ball now leaked out to Echenique on the far side touchline. Cincinnati in business outside of Inter Miami's box. On it is Evander. Evander tried playing a pass to Echenique, and there's the announcer's curse as Dane St. Clair grasps it. But Evander and Cincinnati did have an opportunity there. Echenique was streaking on that far side touchline near the box. And now we have another turnover by Inter Miami. Ian Frey is the culprit this time. Ramirez will recycle back to the defense, and they don't mind this. Up 1 goal in the 78th minute, passing it around. Inter Miami going to have to get aggressive here soon. And that ball rolls out of bounds on the far side touchline. Did it touch a Cincinnati player? No, it'll be a Cincinnati throw-in. Facundo Mora and Echenique doing battle on that side. Pavel will do a big switch to Ramirez on the near side touchline. Ramirez will get it to Nwuboda, as now we have an interception for Inter Miami. Can this bear fruit? Lionel Messi lays it up to Silvetti. Silvetti in the box! Shot! Goal! Matteo Silvetti tying it up! He's fired up in the 78th minute! Oh my goodness! What a touch! What a goal! Matteo Silvetti makes it 3-3! Unbelievable! Just when you think they're down and out, Messi to Silvetti, 3-3. DePaul found Leo, and Leo with a nice pass to Silvetti. Silvetti put 2 nice touches on it, went to ground on a right foot, and he beat goalkeeper Roman Salentano with a right foot low-driven grounder right across his face. Unbelievable goal. That is a great goal by Silvetti. Can they get a winner? The wind is with us in the 80th minute. So Messi on 2 goals and an assist tonight. Denki on it for Cincinnati. A streaking Echenique is shut down and well marshaled by Yannick Bright. Going to ground is Valenzuela. No whistle. That's a flop. And now near side touchline is Gonzalo Luan. And Valenzuela, oh my gosh, he's fine. On the ball, though, and winning the ball is Pavel Buka. And Echenike now megged Mikael, but Gonzalo Luan marshaled that one away. Inter Miami trying to get it out of their own half. They do, but Cincinnati back out on it with goalkeeper Calentano, who's on a 4.8 MR tonight, by the way. Been a rough night for Celentano. Matteo Silvetti now winning the ball. Here's Bertarame to Segovia, to Messi, penalty arc. Leo veers in, past to Bertarame, now to DePaul. Rodrigo puts a shot on, deflected. Bertarame trying to take it out of the air, and he whiffs, and on it now is Cincinnati. Streaking is Echenike. Defenders need to get back for Inter Miami. End-to-end stuff. Evander, bad pass, thankfully, which ends up in Dane St. Clair's feet, now his hands. He plays it quickly to Bright. Oh, my goodness, Inter Miami with an opportunity there. Good passes and touches in the box, just couldn't get the end product. DePaul will get it to Silvetti on the far side touchline. Mateo having a goal with his first minute and a half in the game. He's back in the box in business. He finds Messi, penalty arc to Bertarame, back to Messi, back to Bertarame, and that's where it breaks down. Now a collision between the penalty arc and the midfield circle, and it's going to go against Kevin Danke. Danke can't believe it. He's been flopping and floundering all night. Finally, a call for the Herons when it comes to Kevin Danke. Danke hitting Bright. It'll be a free kick. 82nd minute, 3-3, Cincinnati and our Herons. Lionel Messi standing over a free kick. See how far this one is. Him and DePaul. Keep in mind, DePaul had a free kick goal against Toronto. Oscar, what do you think? It's about 20-ish yards outside of the penalty circle. Little 25-ish. Messi will pass it in. On that ball! Oh my goodness! What another oopsie in the box! And Bertarame puts a goal in! Oh my gosh! Celentano ran into Churla, his defender, and Bertarame scored! What a scene in Cincinnati! Oh my gosh! I can't believe it! Messi, who, listen, a pass, a shot, we could have a conversation about that. But Celentano went in the air and he ran into Churla, and Bertarame ended up with it and basically walked it in. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Churla had the ball in his hands and it was headed away. I'm trying to get a number, folks. I apologize. But Celentano had the ball and it was headed out of his hands by his own defender. And then Bertarame is there to clean it up. Unbelievable stuff. And yes, that was Churla. I was right. I was initially right. So Celentano had it in the air, and he's in his areas. His feet are off the ground. Churla goes to head it for some reason. The ball gets knocked out of the goalkeeper Celentano's hand, and then Bertarame cleans it up. Guys, it's 4-3 Inter Miami. We might get all 3 points here. A complete capitulation by Cincinnati, if I could say. Wow. We will not complain. Oh, my goodness. So Churla, and listen, he smacked. The young man smacked his head. That was a dangerous. That's a dangerous play. The ball got knocked. He knocked the ball indirectly, knocked the ball out of Salentano, and his head smacked that grass very hard. So first off, I hope the young man is okay. They're escorting him off the pitch now. He might be even okay to come back on once the physios look at him. I'll keep you updated if the substitution comes on. But it's 4-3, our Herons. And I think they are they're pulling guys off the bench. They're going to empty their bench tonight, as they should. Keep this in mind for extra time too. We'll probably have a big amount of extra time with this situation. So Barlow and Lahar are going to check on for Cincinnati. They're going to come onto the pitch. So Barlow coming on. Barlow and Lahar coming on. And an injury, so they're going to be able to sub on Lahar. But 6 new players on in the second half for Cincinnati with the injury. Echenike, Nowubodo, Churla, who has been subbed off with injury, Hagelin, and then Lahar and Barlow. And now we have a bad foul. DePaul looking for a card on Valenzuela. Going to be a free kick in Cincinnati territory. Valenzuela, the young 21-year-old American. Been active tonight. A lot of touches. No assists or goals, though. It's now Inter Miami far side touchline on it with Moura. Mikael, now Luan. St. Clair out of his box. Boots it away. Big, deep left foot. And Silvetti, is he going to get on the end of it? He does. Far side touchline, outside of the box, Silvetti. Lays it up to Segovia. Segovia back to Silvetti. Silvetti, Messi shot off the bar, and then Lionel Messi has made it a hat trick at the 88th minute. Liquid play. Take a bow. Messi, his first hat trick of the season in Cincinnati. Unbelievable play. Silvetti found Segovia. Segovia to Silvetti, and then Messi, I believe a right foot off the right bar and into the net. Oh my goodness. Too good. Too easy for the GOAT. Oh my goodness. Segovia to Silvetti to Messi, off bar and in the net. Inter Miami's getting all 3 points in Cincinnati. So an 88th minute goal, but we're into the 89th now. 5-3, Inter Miami on top. They were down 3-2 no less than 10 minutes ago. Play resumed, and Cincinnati immediately trying to get something going. And Dane St. Clair is going to pick this one up. And now we're going to have a foul. I believe that's going to go against Evander on Ian Frey. But folks, if you're just joining us, in the 79th minute, Inter Miami was down 3-2. Lionel Messi, Matteo Silvetti, who subbed on in the 78th minute, scored in the 79th. Herman Berterame scored a goal off of another oopsie by the defense of Cincinnati. It was Salentano catching the ball off a Lionel Messi free kick, and Churlia heading it out of the goalkeeper's hands, and Berterame walking it in for 3-3, or for 4-3. And now, quickly, I got to get stopped because Cincinnati's on it, and Echenique sends it to the 30th row. But Bertarame walked it in for 4-3, and then Messi in the 89th just made it 5-3. So 3 goals in 10 minutes for Inter Miami. And Messi's first hat trick of the MLS season. Wow. Unbelievable. Messi in the 24th, 55th, and 89th. But yeah, 5-3. As if Inter Miami, I already declared them getting all 3 points, but quickly, this one's not over yet. I did this against Orlando. Let's not jinx it. Folks, we have 8 minutes of extra time presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Visit AudiUSA.com to learn more. Test drive the brand new Q3 at your local South Florida Audi dealer. Go there, show up. Tell them, hey, I heard from Riz on the Inter Miami Radio Network, and I want to test drive that Q3. Audi is the official electric and premium car partner of IMCF football. But 1 minute into the allotted 8th, Kundo Mora on the far side touchline boots it away, looking for Bertarame. Bertarame goes to ground, and it's actually going to be a foul against Herman, even though he was the one who went to ground. The 92nd minute, 2 minutes into the allotted 8. But yes, Lionel Messi on a hat trick and an assist. He's got 4 points. He's got 4 goal contributions tonight. Coming into the game, he had 100. And he just broke a record. Messi just broke the MLS record for the fastest player to reach 100 goal contributions. He did it in 75 games. He broke Giovinco's record, and Giovinco did it in 95. 20 less games. And now Messi's sitting at 104 after tonight with 3 goals and an assist. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff. Cincinnati trying to figure things out. Our Herons not letting up. They have not parked the bus, for the record. Probing out of the defense now. This is Hagelin. A little back and forth action between Hagelin and Lahar. And now Inter Miami boots it out of trouble. And I believe that is going to be a yellow card on Evander, as Yannick Bright was the one who booted it away. And Evander gets the yellow. A booking in the 93rd minute. Oh, always a yellow. He went high boot on his right knee. Always a yellow. Messi, I'll tell you what, folks, on the 3rd goal, it looked like he was sliding, he was sliding down a water slide. I don't even know which foot it went off of. He went both feet into the ball, and it hit off the right bar and into the back of the net on the left side. Oh, man. Free kick played. On it is Silvetti. Is the offsides flag going to come up? And it doesn't. So Segovia on it on the far side touchline in Cincy territory. On it now is the left fullback, Kundo Mora, back to Silvetti. Silvetti getting closed down quick. Tried to nutmeg Echenique. And Echenique now in a tough spot. Silvetti will deflect it across the byline. A goal kick coming up for Cincy. Play it immediately to Lahar. Lahar will try to go streaking down the near side touchline line with Ramirez and Denke. It's not fruitful. And taking the ground is Frey, and a foul. And Ian Frey comes up punching air. Fist of fury. He's pumped up. 95th minute, folks. We're 5 minutes in to the allotted 8 minutes of extra time. Alexis De Silva, the head referee, is telling Inter Miami they didn't take that free kick correctly, and we got to redo it. But 5-3 the scoreline. Lionel Messi on a hat trick. and an assist. 4 goal contributions for the GOAT tonight. It's an average day. Appreciate everyone on the YouTube chat. Z Khan, Killiman, Janet. Appreciate all our loyal listeners. Nathan, appreciate you guys. It's at ESPN West Palm FC. You can chime in too. Appreciate everyone listening on Sirius XM, ESPN 106.3, that ESPN South Florida app. Plenty ways to listen to us. And now we have a foul fest as Inter Miami has slowly crawled their way into Cincinnati territory with Rodrigo DePaul. And DePaul playing up at Arame. Is there going to be more? But Arame tried crossing it in. And we have a corner kick presented by Leto Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. Have been representing injured people and their families here in South Florida for over 40 years. Visit foryourrights.com. Folks, if you know anybody here in South Florida that has been injured and needs some representation, Leto Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, they have main offices in Palm Beach Gardens. Corner taken short. DePaul on it. Near side touchline. He'll cut in. And now he'll recycle way back to the defense at midfield. And now Facundo Mora. Mora will get it to Luan. Back in Inter Miami territory on the far side touchline. Mora and company passing it back and forth. And that was a dangerous pass. St. Clair had to come off his line to clear it away. And Salentano does the same thing after St. Clair found a streaking Herman Berterame. And sloppy possession as Cincinnati's now on it near side touchline in Inter Miami territory. Ramirez megs DePaul, finds Nowubodo. On it now is Valenzuela, and a good job by Yannick Bright. Bright's played his socks off, and that's got to be a card, right? No. Valenzuela fouls Rodrigo DePaul. I think that'd be a card, but it's not. DePaul goes quick to Messi. Messi goes to Segovia. Segovia looking for Silvetti. Messi had DePaul on the run. Now we have a fan. Folks, we have a fan on the field. And he's going to go try to hug Lionel Messi. And he is tackled by security. Let's see. This is number 5 on the year. Yeah, this is number 5, a fan on the field. I remember the last broadcast I told you guys I'd never been in a Toronto jail. 2 fans actually ran out in the Toronto game. I've never been to a Cincinnati jail, even though I'm from Ohio. I'm from Cleveland. I've thankfully never been in a Cincinnati jail, but I don't think it can be fun. And if you folks are listening at the TQL Stadium, I urge you not to run out onto the field because you will have a miserable night in prison. But 98-34, 98-35, 5-3 Inter Miami on top. You think this will be the last boot of the game. And we're going to let Valenzuela progress it past the field. Here's Echenique, past midfield, Echenique now near side touchline, inching closer to the box. Ball won by Inter Miami. And I believe we're going to have a free kick for our Herons on the far side touchline. Or for Cincinnati. So Cincinnati going to have a free kick on the far side touchline. It's Alexis De Silva, head referee. We're 99th minute. We're 9 minutes into an allotted 8. And Cincinnati going to have an opportunity from a free kick on the near side touchline. Darn near kissing that near side touchline. Evander going to have a cross in to the line in the box. So Evander. Whistle. Raises his hand, approaches, boots it in, and St. Clair with a fist of fury clears it. Still on it is Ramirez. Ramirez cuts in right outside the penalty arc. Now he's intercepted, and now there is the final whistle. 5-3, Inter Miami down 3-2. Our Herons win 5-3. Lionel Messi with 4 goal contributions tonight. A hat trick and an assist. Matteo Silvetti with a goal. Herman Berterame with a goal. Inter Miami has now won 7 straight MLS road fixtures. They tied the MLS record, 7 straight in one season. If they win their next road fixture, they will have won the most consecutive road fixtures in the row in a single season in MLS history. We'll get the party started next. 5-3, Inter Miami winners on your Inter Miami radio network.
Don't miss Rizzo and Rizzo. I had a wedding on Friday night, and I called an Uber. I'm pretty sure it's the first time he's ever driven a car before. He was lollygagging on his way out of the city, took every wrong turn. I'm like, dude, have you driven in this city before? Once we get into farmland, Wisconsin, it's just hills and grass and trees. And he's slowing down on the hills so he can look out the window. And, dude, speed up. We have a wedding to get to, and the door's locked in 180 seconds. I don't have time for this.
It's Rizzo and Rizzo, weekdays at 4, here on ESPN 106.3.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients in South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath, proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey, Irv, you watching the game?
Watching? I'm all over these live bets on the Hard Rock Bet app right now. Brother, I'm in the game. That's a quick winner. Si se puede, si se puede, si se
Live
puede.
betting on Hard Rock Bet makes any game worth celebrating.
Si se.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start live betting today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football, because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
Picture this, a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
The pink smoke is in the air. This is the Inter Miami postgame show. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Wrapping things up on our Inter Miami radio network. Inter Miami winners over Cincinnati 5-3 on the road. Inter Miami was down 3-2 in the 79th minute, and 3 goals in 10 minutes is the reason our Herons are able to win. Lionel Messi had a hat trick, 3 goals, one in the 24th, 55th, and 89th. He also had an assist on the Matteo Silvetti goal in the 79th. But let's get right into the goal-scoring highlights. Kate Jumslin, our producer, back at the City Boy Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Lionel Messi in the 24th minute, opening up the scoring. As now Rodrigo de Paul is on it. He's looking for Messi in the box. Messi! Shot at a goal! Oh my goodness, that was an oopsie by the Cincinnati defense. But that one will count. Lionel Messi scoring a goal in the 23rd minute. 1-0 Inter Miami. So Danke for Cincinnati would have a penalty goal. I personally don't think it was a penalty. We do not have that cut, but Danke in the 41st minute with the goal, so it's 1-1. Now, fast forward to the second half. It's halftime 1-1. Fast forward to the second half. Buca scored a goal. Pavel Buca in the 49th minute. Ramirez to Danke. Danke with a nice turn. He gets it over to Ramirez. Ramirez cross it. Shot, goal! That's Pavel Buca on the far post on that back stick. Brian Ramirez with great service in. Finds Pavel Buca on the back stick. Folks, it's 2-1 in the 49th minute. Cincinnati on top. Wouldn't take long for our Herons to answer. Who else but Lionel Messi 6 minutes later in the 55th. To Segovia again. Right outside of the penalty arc now is Messi. Messi to Suarez. Near side touch right. DePaul pass shot. Goal! Lionel Messi with a brace. What a pass from Rodrigo to Paul, finding Messi in the box. And Leo with 3 goals in 2 games. So Lionel Messi making things 2-2, but in the 64th minute, Evander, listen, I am the ultimate Inter Miami homer. We know this on our Inter Miami radio network, but Evander had a heck of a goal in the 64th. Evander cuts into the penalty arc. Evander going to have an opportunity shot. Oh my goodness, what a goal! Evander, what a goal! Right outside of the penalty arc. Upper 90, left corner pocket. 3-2, Cincinnati. So Evander able to give Cincinnati the lead in the 64. Sweaty palm times for our Herons, but fear not, because Matteo Silvetti subbed on in the 78th minute, and in the 79th minute, he did this. As now we have an interception for Inter Miami. Can this bear fruit? Lionel Messi lays it up to Silvetti. Silvetti in the box! Shot! Goal! Matteo Silvetti tying it up! He's fired up in the 78th minute! Oh my goodness! So Silvetti tying it up, and then, you know, I talked to Oscar about the goal. I talked to Kate about the goal. I don't think any of us have seen a goal like this in our entire life. We do feel bad for Churla, who, you know what, just play the highlight. Oscar, what do you think? It's about 20-ish yards outside of the penalty circle. A little 25-ish. Messi will pass it in. On that ball! Oh my goodness! What another oopsie in the box! And Bertarami puts a goal in! Oh my gosh! So, Salentano, the goalkeeper. So what happens is Messi, we think it was a pass. It could have been a shot. Messi puts a ball in the air. Salentano, the goalkeeper for Cincinnati, catches it. And then the recently subbed on defender, Churlia, comes and for some reason tried to head the ball away. Folks, he knocks the ball out of Salentano's hands, and Bertarame ends up with it and walks the ball in the 84th minute. I've never seen anything like that. Churlia hit his head hard. We hope the young man is okay. He had to come off with injury. But to put things in perspective, Cincinnati's goalkeeper tonight had a 4.5 MR. Kyle Smith, defender, 4.5 MR. Miyazaga, 4.8 MR. A total stinker by the Cincinnati defense tonight. But Lionel Messi wasn't done. It's 4-3 right now, folks. Messi made it 5-3 and a hat trick in the 89th minute. And Silvetti, is he going to get on the end of it? He does. Far side touchline, outside of the box, Silvetti lays it up to Segovia. Segovia back to Silvetti. Silvetti bangs it, Messi shot off the bar, and then Lionel Messi has made it a hat trick in the 88th minute. Liquid play. Take a bow. Messi, his first hat trick of the season in Cincinnati. Unbelievable play. So in the 24th, 55th, and 89th minute, Lionel Messi makes it a hat trick, and he gets our Inter Miami Herons all 3 points on the road. As things stand right now, Inter Miami has surpassed New England. They are second on the table. New England has a game in hand. They can tie our Herons if they do get a win this weekend. But Inter Miami, 25 points. That's good enough for second on the table. Folks, fear not, because your Inter Miami Radio Network will be back this Sunday. It's going to be a home fixture. Inter Miami hosting Portland, a 6 o'clock start at New Stadium. A couple of thank yous before we wrap things up. Thank you to my OG on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez, for coming here very early in the afternoon, setting me up for Russo and Rizzo, and getting things ready to go for the game. Appreciate the OG. Thank you to my producer back at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach, Cade Chumsland. I'm Mike Rizzo. This has been your Inter Miami Radio Network. The Herons win 5-3 on the road. They make it 7 straight road fixture wins in the MLS. If they win one more game on the road, they will officially have the record for most consecutive wins on the road in an MLS season. We're going to have to wait until after the World Cup, July 25th, but you're not going to have to wait to hear us. We'll talk to you on Sunday at New Stadium at 6 o'clock on your Inter Miami Radio Network.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and I've got news you need to hear. Every day, every show, every game, ESPN 1063 keeps raising the bar. If you're on the go, the new ESPN South Florida app is your ultimate streaming destination for everything sports. Our shows, our games, and everything you need right in your pocket. No more excuses, no more boring drives, no more pretending you like that true crime podcast your friend keeps recommending. This is ESPN 1063, the home for football, the home for fans, and the home for you.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients in South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath, proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm